Hi, everybody. Welcome to Listen Up with Mike. I'm Mike, and I'm going to be your guide through this journey of growth and learning. Hola a todos, bienvenidos a Listen Up with Mike. Yo soy Mike y seré su guía por este viaje de crecimiento y aprendizaje. Como ya lo han visto en esta segunda temporada, he tenido la fortuna de contar con la compañía de mi amiga Syrena. Ella es una hablante nativa norteamericana quien nos ha estado acompañando en estos episodios. Hemos estado hablando de temas varios y el día de hoy vamos a hacer un chequeo de un concepto de gramática en inglés, qué tan complejo y qué tan necesario es ser correcto en ello desde la perspectiva de un hablante nativo. Espero que le pongan mucho cuidado y después hablaremos acerca de las películas, de ir a cine, de rentar películas, toda esta cuestión. Es una charla interesante, son cerca de más o menos 20 minutos, poco más de 20 minutos, casi media hora que estamos hablando en inglés. Es una práctica muy interesante de listening comprehension porque recuerden que esto les va a ayudar a mejorar sus habilidades. Van a estar escuchando a un hablante nativo, que es ella, y me van a escuchar a mí. Entonces, es un muy buen ejercicio. Espero que le pongan mucho cuidado. Y aquí los dejo con el episodio de hoy de Listen Up with Mike. So, once again, I'm here with my dear friend Syrena. Hi, Syrena. How are you today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you for accepting our invitation to be here, to share with us, to discuss different random subjects. And today, I would like to start first with something that can be some kind of a hassle for us Spanish speakers when we want to learn or when we are learning English. And it's the fact that we had issue with consecutive verbs, right? I don't know if that's the technical name for that, but it's when we use two verbs in the same sentence, like I want to go, right? I want to go. We have two verbs. When we think in Spanish we usually have the first verb, which is already conjugated, whatever
Right.
or whatever form we need to conjugate. I was, I wanted, I will want, whatever. And then the next verb in Spanish is always in the infinitive form. Meaning, if I'm going to say, I want to run, I say, quiero correr, ir, right? The second verb always goes in the infinitive form. Because of that, we have the tendency to do the same in English. Meaning, if I say, yo disfruto correr, I usually think of, I enjoy to run, right? That would be
And and
that
that's okay.
yeah. So that was my question because as far as I understand, there are some verbs that the rule indicates that they should only be used with the ing form or with the infinitive form, and there are some verbs that can be used both. Let's say if I say I love running, I can also say I love to run, and it's
Yep.
okay. But as far as I understand, if I say I enjoy to run, that's not technically correct, right?
Yeah.
So,
It,
yeah.
it sounds a little funny, but we understand.
Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing because some of the rules for us when we are starting first are so hard to learn. We have issues learning those rules. So,
So do we.
yeah, yeah. So because of that, uh, a lot of people, because of the fear of making mistakes, they avoid speaking, they avoid a lot of things, and they never, let's say, overcome those obstacles. So my question is, even though those rules are, um, is it too bad if we make those mistakes? Let's say if I say I enjoy to run instead of saying I enjoy running, is it too bad when we are talking? How bad does it sound to you? Does it sound to you, native speakers?
Well, to me personally, it doesn't. I mean, it's okay.
Okay.
I still understand what you said. It doesn't. It's not like so far out of whack that it's like what, you know. I would, we could still continue the conversation without needing to be corrected.
Okay, so it doesn't sound weird. It doesn't
No,
sound.
it's
Ha,
no.
if we were to put that in a scales from 0 to 100%, being zero, nothing, and being 100% disgusting, what percentage would you rate? Say, if I say I enjoy to run as opposed to I enjoy running, in the scale, how
Okay,
bad?
so 100% is what?
The worst, and zero
Oh,
percent is
okay.
like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I would it's like 20%.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
It's fine. No.
It's not that bad. Okay. How about when we use does instead of do, or do instead of that? Let's say she don't know instead of she doesn't know, right? How bad does it
Right.
sound? Does it sound
Well,
worse, or is the same?
depends on the education of the person you're talking to, because we have a lot of people who use it
Okay,
um
well,
not the right way.
yeah, it happens a lot. Let's say I've seen that or I've heard that when I
Yeah.
listen to, let's say, rap music, people from the scene of the hip hop music, sometimes like street slang. I don't know, but I've
Yeah.
heard that in movies, and it sounds like, okay, it sounds funny. And there's another
Yeah, it
thing.
sounds funny.
Yeah, and there's another thing. Lately, I've been chatting a lot with my granddaughter, which is 3. She's speaking English. She speaks English and a little bit of Spanish, and also with her sister, which is 7. And I've heard her. She doesn't speak any Spanish, and I've heard her saying those kind of things. And I think, okay, that's the way we learn when we're little kids. I remember making a lot of mistakes when we were saying that,
Uh-huh.
but how fast can we get a hold on that? And basically, that's a matter of practicing on a daily basis. So once
Yeah.
again, the fact with the consecutive verbs is not that bad. Then
Right.
would you say
Now,
that? Would you say that?
if it's a pronoun, it's worse if it's a pronoun. And little kids have trouble with pronouns. Seems like they'll be like, "Well, him does it."
Oh, okay, all right.
Like, "No, he
He
does
does
it."
it
You know.
instead of, so
So,
subject instead of object pronouns.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Those are
Yeah.
the hardest for
So,
kids.
so what would be your advice for those out there who are learning right now and maybe are so concerned about that, about how am I going to learn that? How am I gonna remember when to use ing and when to use the to form? What would be your advice from your perspective of an English native speaker?
Don't be afraid to say it. Just say whatever you're gonna say, and if it's so wrong that it needs to be corrected, I'm sure somebody will say, "Oh, maybe it might sound better this way."
And there's another thing that I would like to add, and it's the fact that it's so hard to learn a language just by memorizing things. It's so hard.
Yep.
You need to speak, and you need to make mistakes. And every time you make mistakes, if you're lucky enough to have somebody, let's say like you,
And
who
you?
yeah, who's going to, hey, help you with that, hey, be careful because you say that, then you're gonna get a grasp on the stuff, and then your skills are going to improve. Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. And then now let's talk about the today's subject, the real subject for this video, and it's the cinema culture, going to the movies, renting movies. That's a huge thing in the United States, isn't it?
Yep. It is. It is.
And
Um,
especially because the major film industry is based in the United States, right? Hollywood.
yep. Mhm.
So
Well,
so
and Atlanta, Georgia now too.
oh, really? How long ago?
Yeah. A lot probably in the last 20 years, 15, 20 years.
Oh, okay, I didn't know about that.
They start out small, and they're really gaining speed.
Oh, and
Mhm.
is that for all kinds of movies? Let's say like,
Yeah, and TV
oh,
shows.
oh, really? I didn't
Yep.
know about that. Major brands,
Um,
companies, major companies, I mean.
no, not like the Columbia Pictures and all that out in Hollywood,
Oh,
but they've
okay.
got new companies
Oh,
like
okay.
that Medea. Tyler Perry.
Okay.
His Georgia, I think it's Georgia Peach or something. Peach
I've seen that.
Productions or something.
Oh, I think I've seen that one. I
Yep,
think I've seen that
that's
one.
in Atlanta,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and they do a lot of things.
So let's talk about going to the movies. How frequent do you go to the movies?
Um, I don't go as frequent as I would like to. Um,
Which would
some
be,
some movies I'm like, well, is it worth the $12 admission and the expensive candy, you know?
yeah,
But
the
or should I just wait for it to stream on Netflix
yeah.
for free? Well, not free,
Well,
but
not
you pay
really,
the
yeah, but
streaming.
because you
Yeah.
but it's different. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same way we think here, with the exception of going to the movies here for us is so expensive.
Yep.
It's
Same here.
way too expensive. When I say it's way too expensive, means that the value of a ticket, it's about 4 hours of minimum wage here in Colombia. Let's say,
Wow, that is expensive.
yeah, if the minimum wage right now per hour is like 4,000 pesos, which is almost a dollar,
Mm.
the going to the movies, one ticket you can pay 12,000 pesos, which is 3 4 times, sometimes between 12 14 16,000 pesos, which is 3 to 4 times worth an hour of minimum wage. So it is expensive. Plus the fact that if you go to the concession stand, concessionary, I
Uh-huh.
can concession
Concession.
concession stand. If
Concession.
you, it's funny because the word in Spanish, I have that in a video. The word in Spanish is confiteria. It comes from French and it doesn't have anything to do with concession stand. I remember the first time I went to the movies in the United States, I'm like, oh, the concession stand. What's that? Oh, I didn't know. I was expecting something like confiteria, but it's so funny. So if you count whatever you're gonna eat, like the big soda with the popcorn or snacks, it's gonna
Mhm.
be even more expensive.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. So that makes us think twice when it comes to going to the movies.
Mhm.
Now, how much is, as of today, which is the 22nd of October 2023? Today is a Sunday. We're making this video on a Sunday morning. Thank you very much for accepting. And how much it is today, a ticket for a movie at a cinema?
Right. So it's
Average,
gonna depend
average.
it's gonna depend on the time of day, of course, because the
Okay.
matinees are cheaper. The
Mm-hmm.
matinees are about $8 or $9. And
Okay.
then the regular shows are usually around, somewhere between 9 and 12. But
Oh,
if you go to like the IMAX or a really nice theater
okay.
with the special seating and everything,
Okay.
you could pay up to $15.
All right. So let's say $14, right?
Yeah,
The
about average.
On average. And the average minimum wage per hour there right now is like what, $12?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
in a lot of areas.
a little bit more than 1 hour, right? So it's
Yeah.
cheaper than here. So
Well,
that,
it depends because federal minimum
yeah.
wage is only $7.20.
Okay, so that would be twice then.
So if you work for the federal government and only getting minimum
Okay.
wage,
Okay.
which is so backwards, you'd think they'd pay
If
more.
if you go that way, then it would be twice, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's even cheaper because here we're paying from 3 to 4 times what it is.
yeah.
So, well, I'm not complaining, not whining, not at all, but just
It's
wanted like to make the point.
it's
So,
it's a fun evening out. It's usually safe evening. It's safe to go to the theaters. It's you're not out like getting drunk or whatever.
okay,
You're watching a movie and then you go home.
all right, and the movie rental industry is over, isn't it?
It's pretty much
Pretty
over.
much over.
Yeah, in fact, we used to have these machines at our local grocery store. It was called Redbox.
Oh, I
You
remember that
remember
one.
Redbox?
Yeah, I
I
remember
don't
that.
It's gone. Now that I think about it, that machine's gone. There is no more red box.
I remember back
So
in 2001, before that, around those days, you would go to the Blockbuster, right? Rent a
Blockbuster
movie.
or what was that other rental place? Blockbuster and what? He can't think. Anyways, sorry.
The one
Asking the
that
peanut
I
gallery.
remember the most is that one, the Blockbuster. And
Yeah.
around those days, I remember a friend of mine told me about Netflix, and he said this is
Yep.
a brand new company in which you can rent. You pay online like $20 a month. That was back then, and you get a list. You get to make a list, your wish list of movies, and they send you 3 movies at a time. CDs, I mean DVDs, enclosed in envelopes, and with the envelope for you to send it back. And you can send it back whenever you
Yep.
want. There are no returning fees. I was like,
And then
what? They were so,
they,
so freaking smart.
they stopped doing that a couple years ago.
Oh, really? They still did
Yep.
that?
They did that right up until about a couple years ago. I think the
Oh,
pandemic stopped it because they didn't want people's germs all over everything.
I know. And plus, I remember they had a huge collection. I remember watching
Uh-huh.
they had a huge collection.
Yep.
When was the first time you used that platform back on the days?
Netflix?
Yeah,
Pretty much when it first came out. It was back in the 90s,
yeah, I remember. Well, I heard about them
late
around
90s.
2001. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
late
when.
90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Yep.
And what do you think back then about that? What do you say? Like,
I thought it was pretty cool because it always came in like a DVD, which played a lot nicer than a VHS tape.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm that old.
So
I remember the
yeah,
VHS tapes.
I remember that, and the hassle of rewinding them
Mhm.
before, because you needed to
And
take
if you
them
didn't
back.
rewind it
Yeah,
before you took
rewind
it back, you got a extra
an
fee.
extra fee, plus the if you spend more than you were expected, then you would have to pay additional fee. So it was a
Yeah.
hassle plus going there. Well, the fact of going there,
Yep.
it was
You
kind of
go to
fun
the
because,
store.
yeah, go to the
Yeah.
store, watching all the titles, the movies, and this and that. But yeah, I think that was such a great idea. And how about the jump to the internet platform? How do you
Oh,
like it now?
that's just too easy.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I think we've become so lazy
Yeah, we do.
because now we can just click,
We
click,
are, I
click,
mean.
click through the channels and
Yeah,
watch
because
whatever we want.
it's so unbelievable, because there are times in which I'm laying on bed, turn on my TV, I have I can choose Netflix because I have Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Yep.
HBO, Star Plus, and Disney. I have Disney Plus. I have those five, and I'm
I
like,
have that and Apple One.
wow, go figure. So I'm starting
Yep.
like, what should I watch? And I was like, and I'm usually like, sometimes I have so many options that I'm not sure what to watch. And then I try
Uh-huh.
to ask friends for like a recommendation, like what are you watching these days that might be interesting. So it is so sometimes it can be overwhelming. What do you think about that?
I agree. I agree very much. Yep.
How often do you watch your platforms?
Not as often as I probably should have for the money I'm paying.
Oh, I see.
Um, we maybe watch a TV show. We'll pick something to watch, and
Okay.
then we'll watch one episode, maybe two, if it's like a cliffhanger, and I'm like, no, we got to see
It's
what's
like, no, I
happening.
need to know what's happening after
Yeah.
next, right? How about the binge watching?
No, my son
Never?
will though. I used to a long time ago, but I'm so busy with everything. I don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah, because it requires, we call here maratón de películas, like a movie marathon. We
Oh
call that
yeah,
the binge watching.
my
And
favorite my favorite marathon is at Christmas time when they play oh, what is the name of this? The Christmas Story, about the little boy who wants the red BB gun, the Red Ryder.
That
Okay,
it
so it's
rings a
a
bell.
there's this little boy and he wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, and the
Okay.
story is set in the 40s. So it's
Uh,
like a long time ago in the
y-
1940s.
yeah. And
So,
does he get in trouble or something? No.
well, yeah, he ends up beating up a bully, and then he does get the BB gun, and he goes to shoot an icicle, and something happens, and it like ricochets back into his face, the whole thing, and knocks his glasses off, and he starts crying.
Oh.
Oh, okay, whatever.
No, it
But
rings a bell, but I don't think I've seen that, but it
all
somehow
the
it
all
rings
the
a bell.
things he has to go through to get this gun, though, it's a cute movie. And they'll
And
play it like 24 hours at Christmas time.
oh, really? That's are those like what they call reruns? Not really.
Well, it is now because it's an older movie, but
It's
it was probably from, I don't know when it was from, maybe the 90s?
I need to check because somehow it rings a bell. Somehow it rings a
I'll
bell.
send you a link to it.
Yeah.
A Christmas Story, 1983. Oh my God.
So
That
so
was a long time ago.
there's something interesting, and it's the fact that they're putting a lot of restrictions now for the accounts in order to avoid
Yeah.
cheating and piracy. Where do you
Yep.
think this whole thing of the platforms is gonna get? Where do you think?
Um, I don't know. I think it's just going to keep moving forward, you know. I think that's just the wave of the future, and sadly, it's probably going to put a lot of theaters out of business, even though
So
that's a fun night out.
the recently we were talking, my wife and I were talking about that, the fact that these platforms are going to kill, yeah, the movie theater industry, but it's somehow funny because we still see a lot of people going to the movies.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Well,
the
I
need
think,
of the social interaction,
yeah, that.
changing the environment, breaking the routine, right, at home. But I
So,
don't know,
so
somehow.
during the the shutdown, uh,
Oh
so many
yeah.
people couldn't do anything or
Yep.
go anywhere
Yep.
that once we were released, we went nuts and went, yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Somehow I wouldn't change the calm of my home, watching whatever I want to watch. If I need to stop to go to take a
Yep.
leak or to grab something from the fridge, I would never change that. The few times that we right now nowadays that we go to the movies is whenever there's like a premiere of a movie, which is going to take a while before it hits the platform. So
Like The
that's
Sound of Freedom,
yeah, like Sound of Freedom, which was
something that's not available on
yeah,
the
and
platforms yet.
it's an awesome movie. That's an awesome movie. What's the
Yep.
last movie you watched? Was that one?
Which one?
What was the last movie that you saw?
Oh,
Was that one, The Sound of Freedom?
no. My mom had me take her to see a movie, and I don't remember what it was called. It was good, but wasn't really something I would have picked to go see.
Oh, really?
I went with her,
But
and
it
she
was a
wanted
good
to see it.
choice.
Huh?
But it was a good choice of the
It was a
movie.
decent movie.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
it was
you had
decent,
fun,
but
but
yeah.
you wouldn't watch it
Oh,
twice,
I
or
remember.
which
Nope,
one?
I take that back. That was the one before the last one. The last one we went to see Oppenheimer,
Oh, okay. That's
and that
such a
was
great
good.
movie. That's such a
Yeah.
great movie, and it was very interesting because when we went to watch that movie to the theater, I was expecting something different. I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe it was more focused on the fact of building the bomb, the science, this and that. But I was so gladly surprised with
Mhm.
the way they made this movie, and the whole thing it shows the worst side of us as a species.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, Syrena, it's always a pleasure to have you here to talk about random subjects, and looking forward to having you in the next episode of What this one is? Now I forgot. This one is for the Inglés Fácil con Mike channel, because I have two podcasts, and this is for the English channel. Now I forgot the name of that one. It's Listen Up with Mike. To Listen Up with Mike. So welcome and thank you for being here. I'm going crazy now. So thanks a lot, my friend. Remember, for those out there, remember that my friend Syrena has her own channel on YouTube. She's a gamer too. She does some other stuff, but she's a gamer.
Thank you.
And she's got her own channel. You can find her youtube.com/@adventureswithred. I leave the link in the description. Remember that you can check her stuff in order to practice, because she's on her videos and the live streaming sessions, the videos you have, you're also speaking. So that's a very good practice for you guys to improve your listening comprehension skills. So thanks a lot, my friend, for being here. I really appreciate that, and looking forward to having you in the next episode. Thanks you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
¿Qué tal les fue? Espero que les haya servido, espero que lo hayan aprovechado. Esto es un ejercicio para aprovechar, para aprender, para mejorar sus habilidades. Recuerden que este es un proceso que requiere de mucha práctica. Esto no lo pueden dejar para hacerlo una vez al mes, una vez a la semana. Esto tiene que ser de todos los días, y preferiblemente que empiecen también a hablarlo. O sea, que ustedes van escuchando estas charlas y vayan haciendo el mirroring, tratando de repetir lo que escuchan para aprender las pronunciaciones, para coger el ritmo, todas estas cosas. Si te ha gustado este video, recuerda darle like, compartir con tus amigos en tus grupos, redes sociales, y si aún no lo has hecho, suscríbete al canal, dale click a la campanita. Es la mejor manera de estar al día con nosotros, seguir ayudándonos con el crecimiento del canal, y de paso también pueden participar en los chats en vivo. Para poder participar en el chat en vivo, cuando hago las clases en vivo, solamente lo pueden hacer los que son suscriptores y no cuesta nada. Ahora, si quieren ir un poco más allá, tengo el plan de membresías. Si le dan clic aquí abajo en unirse, van a ver cuáles son las opciones. Y si quieren hacerlo, les agradezco mucho. De paso, un saludo muy especial de agradecimiento a las personas que en este momento son miembros y apoyan al canal. Así que un abrazo grande. Sigan estudiando, sigan aprendiendo, y nos vemos en el próximo episodio de Listen Up with Mike. Bye bye.